Okay, hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is the 15th episode of Infernity custom card review, and before I start off, by the way, this is the card that we're going to react to and also test with it. I just wanted to say that Alex Simo just passed away earlier today. I didn't know him, of course. I'm not really in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. I'm just starting to create my channel. But I have watched his videos just from the start of his YouTube channel up until 2 months ago, and I was really thinking that he would survive this, but yeah, fortunately he didn't. Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to say that rest in peace to him. He was a great person, and he really had a very big influence on all of us, and I really looked up to him and to Farfa, because both of them really got me into Yu-Gi-Oh. Farfa got me into Infernity, and Simo got me into Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, so we are now going to react to Infernity Battle Dwarf. So it is a level 2 fiend effect monster, attack 800, defense 500. While you have no cards in your hand, Infernity monsters you control inflict piercing damage. Okay, so that's basically the original Dwarf, which that effect sucks. If this card is special summoned while you have no cards in your hand, send one Infernity card from your deck to the graveyard. You can treat Infernity Battle Dwarf as a tuner monster this turn. You can only activate this effect of Infernity Battle Dwarf once per turn. Oof, if it didn't have this effect, wow, this card would have been so freaking busted. Use Mirage, summon Dwarf and Archfiend, and then go Chilling 1 Archfiend, Chilling 2 Dwarf, and then go +2 basically. But yeah, I mean, this still is a really good card, but I don't think it's a 3-off, because you do need some setup, of course. It is a fiend, which is great. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to see you soon with the deck list. Okay, so here's the deck list. I think that Battle Dwarf is okay as a 1-off, because in comparison to Infernity Archfiend, you have so many ways to summon the Infernity Archfiend. You can also summon the Dwarf with the About Q and the Producer plus Yama, but the problem is that Battle Dwarf is hard once per turn, and it only sends a Infernity card to the graveyard. It doesn't add it like Infernity Archfiend. So I really made a list tailored to Dwarf in a sense, because if you summon the Dwarf, then you can use its effect to either send Sage or the General. You can also send Mirage or Necromancer or whatever. A good level 2 tuner that is, I mean, Sage is also decent. It's basically like you have 2 copies of Sage, but Dwarf is more flexible. But yeah, so yeah, this is the list. Now I'm going to do the 3 test hands. Let me just save the deck. Okay, so this is a very good hand. We have Engraver and Tour Guide plus Apocalypse, double Apocalypse actually, which is great. Let me start, of course, with Tour Guide. Let's use Tour Guide effect now. Let's special summon the Buyo if I can find her. Here she is. Use the Engraver. Yep, send itself. Of course, to add the tract, you can also play the Sanct, but that would change the trajectory of Engraver, because if you play Sanct, you would start with Sanct and not Tour Guide, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. Here I use the Buyo and the Tour Guide. I forgot to actually put the Cherubini or the Ripidocus. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, summon the Yama, trigger the Buyo now. Buyo is going to add the Mutiny in the Sky. Here it is. Yep, now we can use the Void Apocalypse to discard the second Apocalypse, and this is going to send, yeah, of course, it's going to be the Archfiendaris. Archfiendaris is going to grab the Archfiend's Usurpation. So now we have Launcher, we have Usurpation, Mutiny, Tract, so 4 extenders, by the way, which is great. Which one do I start with First, probably, yeah, let's start with usurpation just to set the playtime. That's for sure. So yeah, let's set the playtime. Okay, set it. Let's set the mutiny launcher, and let's use the tract. And this tract is going to grab the Luri, of course, special summon the Luri. Let's just skip some steps. Luri, Yama, or actually, yeah, wait. I can use the Luri to, yeah, summon the Requiem and then the other Finsmiths. So yeah, just move the Yama here. And yeah, let's summon the Requiem first. Requiem effect. And let's special summon the Lacrima. Here she is. Yeah, special summon the Lacrima. Lacrima sends the second engraver. So we have 2 engravers in our rotation, which is great. We can later on use that for every liter. Okay. And also we haven't used our mutiny. That's also freaking fantastic. So I use Yama and Lacrima. Now sequence effect. Yeah, we have a bunch of things in the graveyard, by the way. We can send. So in order to special summon the Airliter, let's shuffle the Ares and the Buyo. And in this case, I can send either the Battle Dwarf, or I can also send the Stygian, so I can later on add the Dwarf with Archfiend and then special summon it with Stygian. It's probably better to go with Stygian in this case. Yeah, sure. Send Stygian, but I haven't played with Stygian in a long ass time. Yeah. Okay, now let's use the playtime. Playtime is of course going to special summon the Archfiend. Yep, now Archfiend effect. Let's grab the Battle Dwarf. Yep, here it is, the Battle Dwarf. Yeah, this card is actually really good. I really like the design of this card. I don't like the design of hard ones per turns for Infernities. Bro, we are handless. We shouldn't have any limits, to be honest. And even the Return of the Reaper is also hard ones per turn. I don't understand why, but okay. Anyway, banish Stygian, special summon the Dwarf. Now use the Dwarf to send any Infernity card from the deck to the graveyard. So what can we send in this case? We can send Sage and then send something else with Sage. Is that the best play, by the way? So I have the Mutiny, I have the Launcher, I haven't used the Engraver. Let's send Sage for first, and then trigger the Sage, and Sage is going to send. So I already have Archfiend, Dwarf, so this is okay. So Dwarf is going to be a level 2 tuner now for the rest of this turn, so I can just use the Airliter and the Dwarf. That's great. What else can I do? Let me just see. What can I send with Sage? That's the question. I don't have Necromancers in rotation, so I can just send the Necromancer. I can send General, so I can have it for later. Yeah, let's send General, because I already have the Launcher, so yeah, that's great. Let me see, so I already have the Yama. Let's use Dwarf and Sequence to go for Producer. Or actually I'm going to send Archfiend instead of the Dwarf, because I can just immediately go for Void Ogre. So yeah, anyway, use the Producer, pop the Apocalypse, trigger the, where is it, the Yama. Here is the Yama, trigger the Yama, and this Yama is going to special summon Archfiend again. Yeah, why not? Yeah, bring back the Infernity Archfiend. Use the Archfiend now, grab the, we have to get to Necromancer, so yeah, grab the Necromancer. Let's use Dwarf and Airliter, go into the Void Ogre. Okay, so Void Ogre, that's great. Okay, we have a bunch of fiends, which is fantastic for Mutiny in the Sky. Let's use Mutiny. Mutiny is going to shuffle Tour Guide and Lurie. Yeah, that's the best. Here is the Duke. Now normal summon. Yep, switch to defense. Let's use the Necromancer. Or wait, do I actually use the Necromancer here? I do have Launcher, which is great. I already have the General. Can also use the Engraver to then summon itself back and then go for Caesar that way. I do have some options, which is great. And also, by the way, I think that Dwarf now is basically a one-card way to General, because if you summon the Dwarf, special summon the Dwarf, sorry, you can send the Sage, like in this case, and then send the General, and you can see that now you have 2 level 3 or lower Infernity, so you can basically bring back Sage and Dwarf, which is actually very, very useful effect, because Sage is basically it's not enough to just send General, you actually need another Infernity. So now summon the Dwarf, send the Sage, send the General, link off the Dwarf. You have infinite ways to do that, and then you have already live General, which is, yeah, that's actually very, very useful. I really like that. But yeah, anyway, what do I do now? Do I use the Necromancer or not? Do I link off the Producer and Archfiend? I probably should use, yeah, let me link off the Producer and Archfiend, go into the Yama. Now use the Necromancer to bring back the Infernity Archfiend. Use Archfiend now. This is this, I think that this is basically a free search, because I already have the launcher, so I can just grab the Infernity Barrier, set the barrier. Let's link off Archfiend, Necromancer, and the Yama. Go into the About queue. Let's link summon the About queue. So yeah, About queue. And now we can use the launcher or the General. Let me just see. It's probably best to use General now. Yeah. So yeah, use the General effect. Let's bring back the Necromancer and the Sage, because now we are going to summon the Ib, the Justiciar. So yeah, Justiciar, let's summon it over here so we don't get in the way of the zones. So yeah, use the Ib, add the Succession. Here is the Succession. Yep, activate Succession, and we have to bring back the Infernity Necromancer. Necromancer is going to bring back the Infernity Archfiend, or I can actually, no, let me just see, or I can bring back the Dwarf or Sage, because they're both tuners. The problem is that this I already clogged up my zones a little bit. Yeah, I think that I'm going to not bring back the Archfiend. Instead, I'm going to bring back the Dwarf. Unfortunately, Dwarf is hard once per turn, so I cannot use it again. But yeah, here is a tuner now, so that's great. Can use Duke of Demise and Dwarf. Go into the second Void Ogre, which is great. Let me just see the Diabel. How is she worded? She can add any spell, right? Any spell or trap. Okay, that's actually really good. Actually, let's use Mutiny to send the Infernity Necromancer. Okay, let's set the Mutiny. Let's use the Infernity Launcher to bring back Necromancer and Infernity Archfiend. Use Infernity Archfiend to, yeah, let's set the second barrier. Yeah, now let's use the Ib and the Necromancer for Diabel. Okay, now let's use the Diabel effect to add back the Infernity Launcher. Okay, that's great. Problem is now that I only have one space. Oof, that's kind of rough. Do I have any links? Oh, I actually do. I have SP Little Knight. That's actually very, very useful. Do I link off the About queue though? That's the real question. Yeah, let's link off the Infernity Archfiend and the About queue. Go into the SP Little Knight. Let's use the Infernity Launcher again. Yep, use the Infernity Launcher. Or can I actually make Caesar before using Launcher? That's the question. Let me just see. Let me just see. So, Aerilator can banish what? Can banish two things with the same attribute. So I only have the Engraver, so I cannot banish the Duke of Demise. Okay, so I don't have a way to what's its name, the Caesar, but that's completely fine. I mean, I can still use the launcher. Yeah, use launcher, and this time we are going to bring back the Dwarf and the Infernity Necromancer. Why is that? Because I can use the Dwarf and the Diabell for Genex turn 0, then use the Infernity Necromancer to bring back the Infernity Archfiend. Use Archfiend now. Yep, Archfiend effect. And we can now add either the break or barrier. Yeah, let's add the third barrier. So, what do I have now is a triple barrier. I have double spell and trap negates, I have a Spilita Knight, I have Mutiny as follow-up, and this returns 0 is how many monster negates? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 monster negates. So 4 monster negates from Genex returns 0, triple barrier, 2 spell and trap negates, and a Spilita Knight. So that's what? 4, 7, 9, yeah, 10 interruptions. Yeah, okay, this hand was actually kind of crazy. Let's see if the second hand is going to be this good. Okay, this is also a really decent hand. The problem is that I drew Lacrima, but I can always special summon it with the Requiem. Yeah, we did draw into Tract, which is great. So I used the Tract. Let's special summon the Lurie again. Yep, now I can actually use the Buyo to special summon it. And let's use the Lurie for the Requiem effect to special summon the Lacrima from the hand. Use the Lacrima now. Send the Engraver. Okay. Let's use Lacrima and the Buyo. For sequence, of course, yep. Then use the Buyo, add the Mutiny. Let's add the Mutiny. Here's the Mutiny in the sky. Yep, now let's use the sequence. And this sequence is going to shuffle Requiem and the Lacrima. And it's going to special summon, of course, the Aerilator. Aerilator is going to send the Archfiend Ares. Ares is going to add the Usurpation. That's just standard stuff. I did draw into Necromancer this time, and I didn't use my proper normal summon, which is great. I really like that. Let me just see. So I have the Engraver at my rotation. So let's use the Engraver. This time, shuffle back the Lurie, and let's overlay for the Caesar. Yep, so here's the Wave Hacking Caesar. Okay, so 2 negates already for Caesar, from Caesar, sorry. And now I can use the Usurpation to set the playtime. Yep. Let's normal summon the Necromancer, set the Mutiny, and set the Infernity Launcher. I have drawn Launcher again, which is, yeah, that's great. Let's activate the playtime. Now playtime summons the Infernity Archfiend. Standard. Now Archfiend effect we can grab. So I already have launcher, which is, yeah, basically like cheating. So I can just grab, yeah, whatever, I guess. Basically I can grab the barrier, sure, yeah, grab the barrier. Let's use the sequence and the Infernity Archfiend, go into the Yama, yep, then use the Infernity Necromancer, bring back the Infernity Archfiend again, yep, use the Infernity Archfiend, and this Archfiend can also just grab whatever, basically. Do I grab maybe the Dwarf and then send it with launcher, or I add, ooh, actually that's also interesting. So Dwarf can of course send the Sage, but also Sage can send the Dwarf. Okay, that's actually interesting. So let's add the Sage then. Yep, activate the launcher, let's discard the Sage, trigger the Sage, and this Sage is going to send, where is the Battle Dwarf? Send the Battle Dwarf. Okay, so now we have to bring it back somehow, which is, I don't think that's very hard, to be honest with you, especially because we have the Mutiny. Let me just see, let's use Yama and Archfiend. And this is going to, yeah, go for producer effect, pop the Necromancer, trigger the Yama, banish Yama, bring back the Infernity Necromancer, and ooh, I can actually bring back the Dwarf. Yeah, let's bring back the Dwarf, that's great. Yeah, now let's use the Dwarf effect, and this Dwarf has so many options. We can either send the General, we can also send the Paranoia for the next turn, we can send the Mirage, but I would rather add Mirage to the hand. I can also send the Conjurer, that's also really good. So what can I do? I already have the launcher, which is, yeah, great. Mutiny as well, haven't been used. Let's send the Conjurer this time. Yeah, let's make it a little bit different. And now let's use Necromancer and the Dwarf. Go into the Ib. Okay, trigger Ib to add the succession. This is just like in the previous test hand. So yeah, add the succession. Let's set it this time. And yeah, let's use the launcher. Yeah, use launcher. Bring back the Necromancer and Archfiend or Sage. What can I bring back with Sage? With Necromancer, sorry. It's probably going to be for the Archfiend. Yep. So Archfiend now. Let's grab the second barrier. Let me just move this over here so I know what how many barriers I have. So I have 2 barriers now, which is great. I haven't used the Necromancer, by the way, which is okay. I can also use the Conjurer to just special summon it and then use it with Ib, but that's going to then banish the Conjurer, so I don't really need that. Instead, I'm going to use the Necromancer to bring back the Dwarf. Yeah, so now use the Necromancer and the Ib, go into the Diabel, so Diabel effect now, add back the launcher again. Yeah, this is just crazy. Yeah, Dwarf and the Diabel for the next turn 0. Okay, so do I have any other links? Of course I do, which is great. Let's then use Infernity Archfiend and the producer to go for the second Yama, just so that I can get Archfiend off the board. I think that's the most important part. I haven't used the Mutiny as well as the succession, so I can basically use these to just bring back the Void Ogre, to summon the Void Ogre, sorry. Yeah, I think that's the best play. So yeah, use the Mutiny, to shuffle. Let's shuffle back the producer and the necromancer to summon the Duke of Demise. Use the mutiny. Also, no way, I can actually bring back the necromancer and the necromancer bring back the dwarf. That's also an option. But yeah, I can just bring back the dwarf, and I don't really want to clog up my zones with necromancer. So yeah, dwarf, Duke of Demise, void ogre. Okay, this is crazy already. Wow, launcher now. Let's bring back necromancer archfiend, or I actually forgot to put wildcat, by the way. That's actually kind of crazy, because if I had wildcat I could have been able to summon another void ogre, but yeah, it's okay, because yeah, I can just bring back archfiend, necromancer, yeah, use the Infernity archfiend, yeah, to trigger archfiend to grab the third barrier. Yeah, and how do I get the archfiend off the board? First of all, I can also send, yeah, I can actually send it for Espilital Knight, but there is also a better option, which is mutiny. Yeah, so add back the mutiny by sending the Infernity archfiend. Let's set the mutiny, use the necromancer to bring back the Infernity archfiend again, archfiend effect again. yeah, just archfiend again. Yep, grab the Reaper, link of the archfiend and the Yama for Espilital Knight. Yep, then use the Reaper, bring back the archfiend again. Yeah, how many times have I summoned archfiend? Yeah, archfiend effect again, and this archfiend is going to grab the break, and yeah. Whoa, okay, nah, this is just crazy. Wow. And I can definitely tell you that Dwarf definitely helped building this board, because having two tuners is actually very important. Okay, wow. Damn, this is also a crazy board. Triple barrier, break, double negates with Caesar, like 4 or 5 negates with return 0. Let me just see. 1, 2, 3 negates. Okay, so this time it's 3 negates, it's okay. But if I do detach from Caesar the Aerialiter, I can have 4 negates again with return 0. So basically it's 2, 6, 10 interruptions, 12 interruptions. Oh my god. Okay, this hand turned out to be even crazier. Let's see the third test hand. Okay, this hand is actually kind of ass, to be honest too, but I did draw into Tract, which is great. Sage in this hand is actually very good, because I can just discard all of my monsters from my hand, which I'm definitely going to do. So yeah, normal summon the Sage. Let's set the Tract, and let's use the Sage effect to discard my entire hand. So yeah, discard Conjurer, Heiress, and the Necromancer. Trigger the Archfiend Heiress to grab, of course, the Usurpation. Yep, Usurpation is just so good. Yeah, Usurpation now. Yep, Usurpation. Let's now set the playtime. Yep, here is the playtime. Yep, now use the playtime to special summon, of course, the Infernity Archfiend. I did use my normal summon, but I can still get another normal summon from Duke of Demise, so I can definitely add the Necromancer in this case. Yeah, let's add the Necromancer. Yeah, now let's use the Tract. Tract is going to add the Lurie. Yeah, here's the Lurie. I'm going to send Lurie for Requiem. Where is the Requiem? Here is the Requiem. Yep, Requiem effect. To trigger itself, to special summon the Lacrima, and Lacrima sent Engraver, standard. Yep, now use a Lacrima and Infernity Archfiend, go for sequence. Here is a sequence now. Sequence effect. Let's, in this case, I can just, yeah, shuffle the Eris and the Lurie. Yep, to bring back, to special summon the Duke of Demise, normal summon the Necromancer. Yep, Necromancer bring back the Infernity Archfiend. This time I don't have Launcher, so I definitely have to add the Launcher in this case. Yeah, here's the Launcher. Yep, activate the Launcher. And now I have some options, so I can use the Sage and Duke of Demise, go for a Void Ogre, or I can use Sage and Necromancer, go into Ib, and then go channeling 1 Ib, channeling 2 Sage, send the, what's his name, the Dwarf, by the way. I just moved the Infernity Archfiend because of succession. Yeah, let's use the Sage and the Infernity Necromancer for Justice Shear. Now go channeling 1 Justice Shear, channeling 2 Sage. Never use the Sage as channeling 1 because it will miss timing. So yeah. This Sage is going to send the Battle Dwarf, and Ib is going to add the Succession. Yep. Actually, I'm not going to use Succession yet. Instead, I can use the Engraver. Let's shuffle the Requiem back into the extra deck. Yep. And go for Caesar. Yep. Go for Caesar. And now let's use the Infernity Archfiend and the sequence to go into Yama. Okay. And let's use the Infernity Launcher. Oh, I actually have 2 Necromancers in my rotation. Ooh, that's actually kinda interesting. So yeah, we can also bring back 2 Necromancers, but I think that would actually really clog me. Or maybe it wouldn't, because I actually didn't even summon the Producer, so I can always link off the Archfiends. Archfiends, I think Archfiend is the main problem for this, because I'm actually using the Synchros because I don't have a level 6 Synchro. I think that's the problem, so I have to actually link off the Archfiend every single time I summon it. But I think that's completely fine. Yeah, let's actually bring back 2 Necromancers. Yeah, let's try that. By the way, let's just bring back 2 Necromancers over here, so I can actually have a arrow for succession. So let's use this Necromancer to just mark it. So yeah, bring back the Archfiend. Here's Infernity Archfiend. And this Archfiend is going to grab the Reaper. No, actually, let's grab the Barrier. So that's the first Barrier. Now let's link off the Infernity Archfiend and the Producer. Yep, here is the Producer. I actually don't have a way to Buyo and the Mutiny. So yeah, I don't have another level 6 monster. But I think that's completely fine. So yeah, now I can use the Necromancer and the Justice Shear. Go for Diabell. Now trigger the Diabell, add back the Launcher. Okay, and let's activate Launcher. Let's use the second Infernity Necromancer. This Necromancer can bring back the Archfiend and pop the Archfiend with Producer. That's also a good option. Or I can use Yama. Yeah, actually, wait, let me just do this. So yeah, bring back the Archfiend, use the Infernity Archfiend. Archfiend effect, grab the Infernity Barrier, the second one. And now let's use the Producer to pop the Infernity Archfiend. This is of course going to trigger the Yama to bring back the second Necromancer. Necromancer is going to bring back the Dwarf. Of course, Dwarf is a level 2 tuner. And now we can use 2 Necromancers and a Dwarf for Void Ogre. Okay. Now I can also use the Succession to bring back the Dwarf, so I can go into Return 0 yeah, let's do that. So yeah, let's bring back the dwarf. Okay, dwarf, level 2 tuner and level 8. Going to return 0. Okay, that's great. So. Yeah, and just use the Infernity launcher. Bring back 1 and yeah, just one Necromancer and Archfiend. Trigger the Infernity Archfiend now. Grab the third barrier. Yep. Now link off the Archfiend and the Producer. Go into the Yama. Use the Infernity Necromancer. Yeah, to bring back the Infernity Archfiend. Use Archfiend. And we still have the About You that we haven't used. I haven't even used About You once during these test hands, so I could definitely use them. So I can just freely add anything in this case. Basically, I can, yeah. Let's add Paranoia, because why the hell not? So Necromancer, Archfiend, and the Yama. Here's the About You, Banish, discard Paranoia, bring back the Infernity Necromancer, Necromancer, bring back the Infernity Archfiend. Now Necromancer, now Archfiend effect, yeah, add the Reaper, and now use the Reaper and the Archfiend, go for Espilitonite, use the Reaper, bring back the Necromancer, and yeah, this Necromancer is just going to bring back the Infernity Archfiend and use the Archfiend effect again, and probably the last time for this episode, and yeah, just grab the break. Yeah, another crazy test hand. Wow, Espilitonite, Void Ogre, Return 0, Caesar, Triple Barrier Break. How many interruptions is this actually? Let me just count this up. So 2 negates from Caesar, 1 from Espilitonite, 4, Void Ogre, that's 4. Let's see how many monster negates is here. So 1, 2, 3, yeah, so 3. So 3 monster negates, so that's 2, 5, 6, 7, sorry, 10, so 11 interruptions. So the first test hand was 10 interruptions, second was 12 interruptions, and this third test hand was 11 interruptions. And this third test hand was 11 interruptions. Yeah, that comes to show that, yeah, that really showcases that Dwarf is actually a really good card. Wow, I would really love to see this card, and it's a really good rework because it does have the OG effect put on it, but it also has a really good bonus effect. But you can definitely take out the hard ones per turn, because yeah, Infernity is known for soft and none once per turn. But yeah, this card was really amazing, and I'm really glad that I did testing on this card. Yeah, this is probably going to be a either 9 or 10. I'll give it a 9 because it is a hard once per turn. If it wasn't a hard once per turn, oh boy, this card would have been a 10 for sure, because then you would just use launcher, bring back Necromancer Archfiend, and then bring back the Dwarf. So basically we'll just go Archfiend and Dwarf, and then Archfiend, Dwarf, Archfiend, and then you would send with anything with Dwarf, add anything with Archfiend, and yeah, that would have been very crazy. But even now, this was actually really crazy, and it was actually mostly done by Dwarf because it's a level 2 tuner, which is a consistent card to get to. So, and it also makes Sage so much better, as I said. So yeah, that's gonna be for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon, and goodbye.